Oh, geez. What can I say about the women at The View? So let's get into this. So Anna Navarro, one of the frequent hosts on The View, she's not an official host. I don't know why they won't make her official host. I don't know the story around that, but she's on there quite often. She made a statement about Tucker Carlson and also Tulsi Gabbard. She's really coming across sounding like a cop. And Sabby did not like that. And apparently Glenn Greenwald didn't like that either, because he went on to call out Anna. Try not to laugh. He went on to call out Anna Navarro in a tweet. He wasn't the only one. So I want to go ahead and start with the video first to show you what started all of this to begin with. But basically, long story short, the women of The View are not happy with Tucker Carlson's commentary about the crisis with Russia and Ukraine. They are also not happy with Tulsi Gabbard as well. So let's dive in, shall we? Let me skip all this jazz and let's get straight to the video.
Flag propaganda. Here's what they've both been saying about the war. Take a look.
Democrats in Washington have told you have a patriotic duty to hate Vladimir Putin. It's not a suggestion, it's a mandate. Anything less than hatred for Putin is treason. Hating Putin has become the central purpose of America's foreign policy. Secret biolabs? Like the secret biolabs Ukraine definitely doesn't have? Ukraine has those? Yes, it does.
There are.
First and foremost, is he wrong? Whether you like him or not, and I'm not a fan, is he wrong? Have some of you also received the impression that they're trying to get people to hate Putin? I've kind of received that message. So is he wrong? This is something that I want people to try to do, to remove the idea that you have about a person and focus on the facts. And if what they're saying is true, please just push aside the fact that you don't like them, because I don't want that to sway your feeling one way or the other. They go on with Tulsi Gabbard. I cannot play her comment. I have to skip past it. Unfortunately, YouTube is going to flag me if I play it. They might even pull it, to be honest with you, but you get the idea. So I'm going to go ahead and fast forward past this. This is what bothers me about this show. All right, so here we go.
That could cost lives. So I'm just going to open it up to the table. What the hell's going on?
So I think Mitt Romney is absolutely right, by the way. So what this is the Russians are spreading propaganda to try to create a pretext for potentially using chemical weapons against the Ukrainians.
Right.
So what they're parroting, what Tucker Carlson parrots every night on Fox News, what Tulsi Gabbard is spreading, is actually helping Putin get away with criminal acts against innocent Ukrainian civilians.
Is it? Is that the impression that you guys get? What about the innocent people in Russia? Why do they only tell one side of the story? That's what bothers me. What I want people to remember when they watch this show is called The View. It's not called the news. It's called The View. But the problem is people take it as news, and they take it in that way, and they'll go on and repeat those same talking points to their friends and family members as well. Let me get to Anna Navarro's point, because that's the one I really want to drive home. I don't even know who this woman is. Let's see. All right, here we go, right here.
With a Tucker. If there's a Tucker and Laura Ingraham and Tulsi Gabbard, all of them.
Listen, the Fox board of directors should really step in. If they call themselves patriots and they, it's not enough to be posting flags about Ukraine. There's a bunch of folks on that board of directors list, like my friend Paul Ryan, who I wish would be weighing in and saying we cannot be Russian state TV. Yeah. At least not every hour.
But what's I guess for me, the question is, what is in it for someone like Tucker Carlson, right? I mean, is it money? Who's paying him that money?
Yeah.
I'm not making.
Hold on, Sonny. No, 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 no. What's in it for all of you that are on The View? Who's paying you your money to have the talking points that you have? Who paid you guys to have the talking points that you had towards Bernie Sanders when he came on? Exaggerating, saying that we're going to take people's health insurance away from them? Who paid you guys to do that? What's in it for you? Oh, I can tell you guys if you don't want to answer this, and I say this as if they can actually hear me. They get book deals. All of them. I don't know if you guys know that or not. They get book deals. They get speaking engagements. So how are you going to call? How are you going to call out Tucker Carlson and ask who's paying him when you are sitting here on ABC on The View and you're being paid to have a certain narrative as well? Really? Disney is paying them, Colin. I love it. I love it. I love it. Let me go back in. Oh, geez.
Any allegations, but it doesn't make sense that he would do this kind of thing. I mean, he also says that the United States helped encourage the Russian invasion. He said the United States engineered a coup in Ukraine in the name of democracy. He, as we just mentioned, confirmed these Russian claims about bioweapons. And he's characterizing this situation as a border dispute. Right? And so what is in it for him? I know that he's visited Moscow and other places, and you can tell me in my ear if I'm wrong about that, but I just don't understand what the impetus is.
I hope he's planning to move to Moscow because he's not going to be welcome here for much longer.
I think...
What? What does that sound like to you? Really, Joy? Did you guys hear what Joy just said? He's not going to be welcome here for much longer. You can't sit here. Really? What? Oh my God. Wow. I can't believe I used to watch the show. I really can't believe it. Let's go back in.
Do his viewers like it?
I don't know. I mean, I don't
think the ratings have dropped at all. And look, but I think that's an incredibly relevant question. Yeah. And I think DOJ, in the same way that it is setting up a task force to investigate oligarchs, should look into people who are Russian propagandists and shilling for Putin. That's being, if you are a foreign asset to a dictator, it should be investigated. In fact, I remember when Tulsi Gabbard, and I even hate that we're discussing it because I think to myself, who is this woman? She's she's no longer in Congress. She's a failed presidential candidate. Yeah. She only practically exists on Twitter. And the fact that we're giving her oxygen is what makes her relevant. That we're talking.
Oh, no, she didn't. Listen to what she just said. Let's play this one more time because I got something to say about this. Let me go all the way back. Hold on.
It should be investigated. In fact, I remember when Tulsi Gabbard, and I even hate that we're discussing it because I think to myself, who is this woman? She's she's no longer in Congress. She's a failed presidential candidate. Yeah. She only practically exists on Twitter. And the fact that we're giving her oxygen is what makes her relevant, that we're talking about her on hot topics. But on the other hand.
Oh my God. So she just said that about Tulsi Gabbard. Honey, I can say the same thing about Hillary Clinton. Who is that woman? She is a failed presidential candidate. She's always trying to stay relevant. Always writing another book. Popping up on shows like The View to remind you that she's still around and to prevent any type of progress in this country for working class people and for poor people. What? She goes, who is this woman? Is she even relevant? I can say that about your friend Hillary Clinton, boo, who seems to come on that show quite often. But she's not going to say that about Hillary Clinton because Hillary Clinton is a part of the Democratic establishment. Because Hillary Clinton fits the narrative for that show. Someone like Hillary Clinton will always be welcome onto The View because she has the message and the political ideology that the producers of that show want to put out on that show. Let's all remember what happened to Tulsi Gabbard when she came onto The View when she was running for president, and the way they spoke to her and how they treated her. Called the woman names to her face. Do you see? Come on, Anna. Come on. I know you are not going to say that about Hillary Clinton. Say that about her. Let's go back to the part where she said that he should be investigated. This just kills me. Here comes the cop.
I think that's an incredibly relevant question. And I think DOJ, in the same way that it is setting up a task force to investigate oligarchs, should look into people who are Russian propagandists and shilling for Putin. That's being, if you are a foreign asset to a dictator, it should be investigated. In fact, I remember when Tulsi Gabbard, and I even hate that we're discussing it because I think to myself, who is this woman?
Anna Navarro is a cop. Here's Anna Navarro saying, I think she wants him to be investigated. Now, there's someone who had something very important to say about Anna's comment. I haven't seen if Tucker Carlson has replied, but I have seen someone else reply, and they really had some things to say about Anna. So Glenn Greenwald, he just wants to remind Anna Navarro of this. Anna Navarro got her start pressuring the U.S. Congress to fund Contra death squads in Nicaragua. Her father was a member. Under Trump, she constantly worked against her own government to benefit other countries and does so now. Let's go on. By her own reasoning, DOJ should investigate her. Let's finish this tweet thread, and then I'm going to show you the screenshots that he included here. He said, whenever a war starts, a huge number of the DC political and media class start calling on the government to investigate dissidents and smearing journalists and activists who question U.S. government policy as traitors and foreign agents. It's always a sign things have turned very dark. Now, let's show the first images that he has here. Now, this is Anna Navarro. It is the law. Foreign Agents Registration Act is a law requiring persons engaged in domestic, political, or advocacy work on behalf of foreign principals to register with the Department of Justice and disclose their relationship activities and related financial compensation. That's Anna Navarro. But this is also Anna Navarro. My dad was a Contra. I'm grateful to RR for his support of freedom. At House 808, at Anna Navarro, you're kind of young to be a true Reaganite. Again, these are her words, not Glenn Greenwald's. My dad was a Contra. Say what? Let's go down to the other screenshots here. Anna Navarro calls on the DOJ to investigate Russian propagandists like Fox News' Tucker Carlson and former Representative Tulsi Gabbard for shilling for Putin. This woman kills me. Unpatriotic conservatives. Listen to this. I respect and admire the French, who have been a far greater nation than we shall ever be. That is, if greatness means anything loftier than money and bombs. That's from Thomas Fleming from Hard Right, March 13th, 2003. From the very beginning of the war on terror, there has been dissent. And as the war has proceeded to Iraq, the dissent has grown more radical and more ferocious. Perhaps that was to be expected. But here is what never could have been. Some of the leading figures in this anti-war movement call themselves conservatives. These conservatives are rarely few in number, but their ambitions are large. They aspire to reinvent conservative ideology. the junk, the 50-year-old conservative commitment to defend American interests and values throughout the world. The commitment that inspired the founding of this magazine in favor of a fearful policy of ignoring threats and appeasing enemies. So I just want to remind everyone, who is Ana Navarro to talk? Not one of those women on that panel pushed back on her. Not one. And that goes to tell me that at the end of the day, they all have the same narrative. Yes, one may be a little bit more to the right than the other, but they all follow a script. It's not how it used to be. When Rosie O'Donnell was on that show, and she did not last long, Rosie O'Donnell was pretty vocal. I don't think producers like that too much. I think she went off script. Not one of them pushed back. What does that tell you? I believe Max Blumenthal also called out Ana as well. I didn't pin that tweet, shoot balls. I forgot to pin it because I think he pointed out something else. Let's see if I can find it really quick. I don't know. Max tweets a lot, so it might be. Let me see. Oh boy. Max does tweet a lot. Too many tweets. I can't find it. Oh, I found it. Okay. All right. Let me show you. I'm just going to share my screen really quick because Max commented on this as well. So here's Max's comment. He said, Contra cheerleader Ana Navarro was herself a registered foreign agent for the government of El Salvador, making a fortune from an impoverished country run by a deeply corrupt party founded by a death squad, later nicknamed Blowtorch Bob. And here's the receipts. Invoice for professional services. So this was in 2007. This invoice covers professional services rendered in association with Greenberg Trarig on behalf of the government of El Salvador and is for the period of time between June 1st through December 31st, 2007. That's a lot of money. $158,000. $158,000. Wow. Damn. Max with the receipts. So yeah, this is how far this has gone, you guys. This is how far this has gone. Now they're trying to play cop. You should imprison that person for having those talking points. It really does bring people back to a McCarthy era. How dare you say those words? We must imprison. You must be arrested. We must investigate you. Now, I'm not here to defend Tucker Carlson. I'm not a fan of Tucker Carlson. There's a lot of things that he says that I do not agree with at all. But again, I told you guys, I don't agree with censorship, period. And I think Anna's being ridiculous. I think she's being dramatic. And I think she is also coming across like a hypocrite. But again, no one on that show checked her. I'm going to take these super chats really quick. Thank you so much for the super chat, Colin. They are pushing us to hate Putin more, so we will hate Biden less. Right? It's not working for me, though. It is not working for me, man. And thank you for the super chat, Mike. First time watching your show. Thanks for your clarity and insightful perspective. I'm now a subscriber. Thank you so much, Mike. I appreciate that. Reef, 2+ years of work on Discord can just be pulled like that. Same with YouTube. Time is the worst expense we spend, and to have it wasted is a bummer. Yes, I mentioned this a couple days ago. For those of you who are new, some people did have their Discord accounts also removed, people that are in the independent media space. So it's not just YouTube, it's happening in other places as well.